Hello everyone and welcome to another Feed Army video. My name is Emmanuel and today we will discuss how to fix and why your images are all of a sudden blank. Now if we have a look here, we can see that the image has a black background. However, when you save the file, it is a PNG file with a transparent background. Now when you normally save this file, you will be able to upload the image to Google Merchant Center and not really have a problem. The problem starts when you start to compress the image itself. So when you compress an image, it will strip out specific data that it thinks is useless to save data. So for example, if we have a look at this website here, we can see that we have an option to do lossy and lossless. Lossy can save a lot more data than compared to lossless. And it strips out, for example, metadata and specific elements within the image to save space. As we can see here, we can see an image is compressed to 30 kilobytes and then the normal lossless version is 85 kilobytes. Kilobytes, sorry, not bats. Because I'm in Thailand, the currency here is baht, that's why. So, and the problem is then when you upload this image to Google Merchant Center, then this image all of a sudden has a black background. It's not always the case, but it can happen and it is very random. And this is caused because Google cannot read the image properly. So what you need to do basically is upload a different image to Google Merchant Center or upload it at the source of your website to not be compressed that much, or use a different file format, let's say WebP. Let's have a look. So WebP, sorry. And that is a Google developed extension file. So you can try that and upload it, and that should fix the issue. However, if you want to keep PNG as the file format, then what I recommend you do is resave the image with a white background, because generally Google has all the images with a solid white background, or apply a different style of background and not have a transparency. What you can do is then of course upload this image then to your website and then make sure that you change the file name, because otherwise Google will not detect a new file is uploaded. Because if you keep the same file name and the file extension, then it can take maybe 1.5 months before Google updates the image. So that's why changing the file name will allow Google to fetch the file straight away when you change it. If you don't want to upload it to your website, what you can do is in Google Merchant Center, go and edit the product itself and upload it directly to Google Merchant Center. Another way, the third way, is to use a supplemental feed and add the image URLs using the supplemental feed. So that means that you have to host the image on a server or anywhere where you want. The image file where you host it doesn't have to be on your own domain name, it can be anywhere, and then link that in your supplemental feed. So you have several options. If you have a lot of images, then this is of course a problem, and then you need to, for example, do a batch. So for example, I'm using my favorite tool is Affinity Photo 2, and you can here do a new batch job, and then you can save the image differently. You can also record actions to take. For example, you can take actions to use the pen tool, the magic tool, the magic wand, remove the background, add the background, solid white. You can do pretty much anything, but of course if you have lots of different styles of images, that might be a little bit difficult. But saving it as, for example, a WebP is very easy, that you can do as a new batch. That will be easier than filling the background, for example. And then you can upload those to Google Merchant Center or using a supplemental feed. The supplemental feed method will be most likely a little bit quicker and easier to do than manually uploading it in Google Merchant Center. So again, to explain, yes, it is a Google issue, but unfortunately Google will not fix this, as it has been historically an issue for a very long time. I don't know, the first time I've encountered this was maybe 10 years ago, maybe even longer. And ever since, I've tried to always upload an image with a solid white background, also because that's the mainly used color for Google Shopping. But if I do encounter it with a client, then I just edit it so that there's a white background and then upload it or change the file format to WebP. So that's it basically. It's not very easy to do, but if you do batch processing and use the supplemental feed, that will be the easier way to do. Unfortunately, I can't teach you how to do the batch processing because that will be different for everyone. There are different softwares that you can use, and there are different ways that you have to apply the ID to them. So it's quite complicated to do, and every task or every step that you need to take depends on what you can supply. So that's why it's not as easy to suggest a step-by-step guide for batch processing. So it depends on what the situation is. If you need any help, feel free to reach out or leave a comment downstairs. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.